This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard time, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
All right. What's up, everybody? What is going on, man? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, the morning after, man. December 15th, 2025. Shout out to everybody in the building. Dern says, I'm not even mad we lost. I'm just upset we got screwed once again. Bud Tree says, I'm on time. Chris, what up? What's going on? Tom Brady is in the building. What's up? We got Jay Brick, Dennis, Jay Smooth. Chicken is good. What's up? Reporting as sad. That is funny, bro. Fave says, ready to drink my Spike Kool-Aid. I'm sick of the Lions screwing, and Brad won't get another pass rusher. Grid just got to hear my rant. Yeah, you know what? I didn't listen to it yet. Yeah, darn, man. I'll check it out after I'm over. After after the show. So first of all, let me say this. I lost my fantasy matchup, was 7-7, had to win my last game to get in. And Jahmyr Gibbs didn't show up. And I know that was not his fault really, but a way to go out. What a way to Trey McBride puts up 30-something points, and I had no chance. No chance. He had Amon-Ra St. Brown. I had Jamison Williams, but Jahmyr Gibbs, a couple weeks removed from 55 points, man, had like 5 or 6. It was abysmal. Anyway, and that's how my fantasy football season ended. In addition to that, man, our Detroit Lions are, for the 5th consecutive week, on the outside looking in. And they are going to not only have to win all their games, but they are going to have to get some help. Now, there is a possibility that the Lions could get in winning 2 of their last 3, depending on what happens with the Packers. The Packers are not a 10-win team, and they tried to get there last night. So with Micah Parsons being out, if the Packers don't win another game, then because what are the Packers? The Packers are, what are the Packers? Put the record, because I could be wrong, but what's the Packers record? It's something, what is it? 9-4-1, 9-5-1, 9-4-1. Thank you, Chris. All right, so that means that with 3 games left, the Packers, the worst they could be would be 9-7-1, which means that the Lions, If the Packers were to lose out, which that means that the Bears would not lose out. But check this out. Check this out. This is crazy. I'll probably wind up doing a video later today on Lion Syndicate. But if the Bears have to lose one of the next two and then lose to us. But if the Packers don't win another game, then we would get in by simply of a better record. Because we would be 10-7. And at that point, if you have more wins, you get in. So anyway, yes, and it is official that, wow, just dropped, man, from Jordan Schultz that Micah Parsons does have a torn ACL. So on the same day, almost, an hour apart from each other, or Micah Parsons and Patrick Mahomes goes down. Wow, man. What a day in the NFL. I had Josh Allen, Cook, Brown, his players went off. Yeah, bro. First of all, Josh Allen had like six points in the first. It was in anyway. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Nate said, "What up, Nate?" Says, "I hate football politics, pushing Gibbs to be the next Barry, not letting D-Mo eat. J-Mo is a true number one." First of all, bro, good to see you. Hope you and the wife are doing well and the kiddos. That's a bar right there, bro. That's a bar. That almost got me a little choked up a little bit, bro, because I agree with that. And we got a demo topic that, man, I'm actually trying to I got to hold myself together, bro, because it's like it's something not right. And I never really thought about that until you mentioned something. But we're gonna talk about the DMOT. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Let me see. Mark says they are cooked. Bummer Mondays. Yeah. And you know what's funny is we had to wait 10 days. At least we came off a win, but we had to wait 10 days for this. You know what I'm saying? And this is the outcome. Now, I guess the good news is that the Detroit Lions, they do have a way to okay, so we had to wait 10 days for our next game. We have we play Sunday and then we play again Friday. So we can get this stench out of our mouth, and then we turn around and play the Minnesota Vikings, who showed up yesterday and essentially eliminated the Dallas Cowboys, man. Let me see. Man, I was up against a guy who had T-Law, and the Jets couldn't do anything to stop him. Oh, by the way, Aaron Glenn fired his defensive coordinator. Kind of reminds you of our year one, doesn't it? When we fired Anthony Lynn. And he fired his DC, we fired our OC. So he's following in the footsteps. Yes, Amik hurt his hand. I actually knew that last night. Shout out to the homie, man. He went to an after party that some of the Lions were there. He told me, he said Amik hurt his hand. Amik hurt his hand. I don't think Dan Campbell's going to be on early enough for me to bring that in. My son has what hopefully we think will be his second to last orthodontist appointment today at 3. So I couldn't wait. I have to get on and get off in enough time. But yeah, I did see that. Davin Glass will be back, says Pierce. Sergey, what up, man? What's going on, man? All right, so let's do this. Let's get this out the way. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get this out the way. We're not going to blame the NFL and the refs. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay? I'm trying not to crash out today. I crashed out so hard yesterday that I start sweating like I was having a hot flash. I had to go take a shower. I had to go take a shower after the stream because I was that mad. I was literally like the dude from Inside Out. That might have to be my new name. Anger might have to be my new name. Crash out. I might have to get a shirt that say I'm about to crash out because I was so mad that I had to go immediately take a shower after the stream was over. That's how mad I was. I'm not doing this, though. I'm not blaming the refs. I'm blaming one dude, bro. That's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not blaming the refs. Everybody knows that it wasn't a catch. Now, we can talk about it. But I'm not blaming the refs anymore. Not only do the refs, we know this. I'm tired of blaming the refs. It happens throughout the NFL. The Lions were not the only team to get a bad call. As a matter of fact, let's go straight into it. All right, Lions fans, I'm about to do something that might shock some of you. We saw the egregious call yesterday of the Ram touchdown that was far from it. It was the most ridiculous, like it was top 3 ridiculous calls. Dean Blandino said in the command center that it was not a catch. Best case scenario, he was down at the half-yard line, which I also thought was cap because I thought you had to complete the process. Lions fans, you remember that? You remember when you had to have control and you had to survive the process. Now they have altered the rules a little bit that it now can touch the ground as long as you still have control. Before, you couldn't, if any part of the ball touched the ground, it was over. It was not a catch. So it was not a catch. But the most egregious part of it was the call after because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. The call was that he lost control and recovered it in the end zone. How can you lose control? How can it be called a catch when you never had control to begin with? So anyway, I'm not going to blame them because we have spent the last 60 years doing that. That will not change. It will not. It used to be like exclusively to the Detroit Lions, and now it's not. It's everywhere. It is. The NFL needs to hire full-time refs. Forget all being a lawyer, a doctor, a pilot. You need to be a ref. You need to get up and say, hey, friends, you know what I do for a living? I'm a full-time NFL referee. That's what you need to tell your friends. Like I tell my friends, I'm a full-time YouTuber. That's what you need to be, right? But I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do it because it's the easy way out. We've already said this. You have to outplay the refs. You have to outplay the refs. Depending on what team you're playing, you might have to outplay a little more. It's kind of fitting the Rams didn't get a call until like the end of the game. But we've seen this before. Not me. I'm done. I'm done blaming the refs because we didn't lose because of the refs. That's not what we lost. That's not why we lost at all. You already know where I'm going, and I'm done. I am done, bro. I am coming at this dude's head, point blank, period. You can put the loss on a lot of things. This organization, okay, there are some things that need to change. Kelvin Shepard. A lot of people was defending Aaron Glenn. I'm not defending Aaron Glenn. I don't think Aaron Glenn was that special. As a matter of fact, if you look at the defenses, they are awfully similar. Now, you could say that Aaron Glenn was working with less, but can you really say that? Because you know what they called our secondary yesterday? The Legion of Whom. I thought we were the only people using that. Lions fans. Our secondary is wiped out. At least he had those guys. At least he had Aaron Glenn had Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. For the majority they've missed more games this year than they had missed up until this year. So I'm not going to let Aaron Glenn off the hook just that easy. I'm putting it on personnel. That's what I'm putting it on. Now, everybody deals with injuries. I'm sick of that too. Enough of that, bro. If you know that you're going to have to deal with an injury. So what do? You stop signing the Legion of Whoms, right? You stop doing that. At the trade deadline, when we did not do anything, this team told you we ain't good, but we still good. That's what they told you, bro. They said that we are good. It doesn't matter. We don't need to make. Dan Campbell said it yesterday after his press conference, which, by the way, I don't think he believes that anymore. I really don't. This is the most sad that I've seen Dan Campbell. It wasn't like the NFC Championship game where you had it and you lost it. It was, hey, I don't know if I really believe what I'm telling you. I believe in these guys. Do you, Dan? Do you really? We've heard this before, bro. And I love the fact that he's trying to hype his guys up. I love it, bro. But I told y'all, man, we have to stop playing games. This team and this regime, they think they're going to go to the Super Bowl with the mystery men. It's not going to happen. Now, Micah Parsons went out. Injury is part of the game. We lost Aiden Hutchinson last year. It happens. Micah Parsons, done. The great Patrick Mahomes, done. Do you know that Patrick Mahomes' best case scenario is to be ready mid-season? And I saw some Chiefs fans saying, look, he might not even come back the same. He might not play for 2 years. All right? It happens to everybody. It's part of the game. You just don't want it to happen to anyone, and you definitely don't want it to happen to your star player. But sometimes it does. And when it does, if it does, you need people to come in and do something. Now, that Legion of Whom played great a couple weeks ago. Yesterday, not so much. So I am done blaming the NFL refs. I will, I'll call out a bad call or two. I'm done blaming injuries because they happen to every team. I am focusing on the regime from now on. And I made a joke last night that if I'm Martha Firestone in my little cart, I'm coming and I'm pulling up. While Sheila at the meeting, while we in the meeting with Sheila, while we're at the meeting, I'm pulling up. I'm telling Sheila, I'm there. Your 90-some-year-old mother is there. Is she 100 yet? I don't even know. I think she is. I'm pulling up, bro. Open both double doors. Open both doors because I'm coming through. I want to sit in on this meeting while you having a dialogue, a conversation with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, and tell them to dress up. I want them in suits. That's where I'm at. I want both the guys in suits. See, I'm holding Brad Holmes a little bit more accountable than I'm holding Dan Campbell. You know why? Because Dan Campbell, he does the best he can with the personnel that he's been given. Now, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, they share the same mind. They're always on the same page. If you like him, I like him. If I like him, you like him. It might be time to get rid of that too. Maybe that's not working, bro. Maybe it's not working. Because, again, I'm not blaming injuries or the refs anymore. We've seen this. Lions fans have been devastated year after year with the NFL refs. It's time to get over it, bro. Your team need to be better, period. That's it. That's it. And one day we will overcome Roger Goodell, whatever his narrative is, and the refs. That's what we will do. But this year's not that year. You know why? Marcus Davenport. You know why? Levi Onwuzurike. You know why? With the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select. That's why. And like I said, there's one person responsible for the personnel on this team. His name is Melvin Bradley, Matthias Jerome, Cornelius, Leonardo DiCaprio Holmes. That's the one man responsible. He is responsible for the personnel on this team. He has rank. He has the authority to usurp Dan Campbell. They don't have to be buddies. They don't have to be friends. Brad Holmes has a job to do. Dan Campbell has a job to do as well. And I think Dan is doing a little bit better than Brad Holmes. So I'm done blaming the refs or the injuries because every single year it will be an excuse, and I'm tired of it. Get it done. Get it done. So Lions fans, was it a catch? Absolutely not. Was it a touchdown? No. Should the Rams have had more calls? Is there holding on every play? Yes, there is. But that's just how it goes. We have to be better. Period. Let me know what you think in the comments below, man. This offseason going to be a spicy. It's going to be a spicy meatball because it is going to be fire. This is the worst that this fan base has felt during this regime. Because year one, we expected nothing. We got nothing. Year two, Sheila had to pull up with mama riding on the back of the cart, telling, settle down, I believe in these guys. They turned it around. Oh, don't forget, we also fired Aubrey Pleasant. We fired him. Before they came out, we fired him. We scapegoated him. That's why I said last night, it might be time for another one. It worked before. It worked before. You fired, okay, your DBs were Jeff Okudah. You fired him, right? So maybe we do it again. Maybe we do it again. This is the worst this fan base. You know why? The expectations were through the roof this year. And we in the basement. We ain't even allowed up the stairs yet. So this offseason gonna be, I'm ready, man. This is where I shine at. I shine in this. I shine in this, man, and I'm ready. I'm ready. We'll see what's up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right. Let me see. Where we at? Let me catch up, y'all. Let me catch up. Man. Let me see. Okay, 18 mil ain't bad. What happened on saying the Lions can take this loss to the Rams next week? Jason, who said that? Who said that? It says, you're not the only one. Fact, scoring 34 points and still losing is ridiculous. What's up, Paradise? I thought you was done, bro. It's good to see you, my man. Says, how did y'all not see this coming? Paradise, you know your boy did, bro. You know your boy did. It says, you really thought we were going to beat the Rams with our 4-string safeties. No, I didn't think that. No, I didn't think that. I don't know if you watched the videos, bro, but I picked us losing. I said we was going to lose. That's what I said. But to give up 4-string safeties. 4-string. Well, wait a minute now. Kirby Joseph ain't played. When was the last time Kirby Joseph played? Did Kirby Joseph play? When was the last time was he playing at the trade deadline? Are we trying to go get Justin Simmons? No, bro. No, I'm not doing this. 4-string. Well, then you go get a first. That's what you do. You get somebody off the couch, bro. And this ain't no disrespect to you, fam. No. If there's somebody, you make it happen. Zadarius Smith, check this out. This how Lions fans, how bad it is with the pass rush, which I was right about. It's so bad. Zadarius Smith put eyeballs in, he tweeted eyeballs. I guess he's on Twitter. And he tweeted eyeballs, and Lions fans was going crazy. For what? He locked up with the Eagles. He locked up. So it's nothing he can do for us this year at all. But that's how sad and miserable we are, looking for any spark. So nah, bro. Nobody thought we was going to win that game, but also you got to go get the right guys, bro. You talk about all the right guys. You could have, when was the last time Kirby Joseph played? What was the last game that Kirby Joseph played? Somebody please put it in the comment section. We all saw it coming, few ignored. Hey, how many people saw it coming and actually said something about it? Y'all watch a bunch of YouTube creators. You don't have to put in any names in the comment section. But it's funny, man, watching the landscape. I'm sitting on the porch with my pipe, smoking my pipe. I got my feet up on the balcony, and I'm looking at all the landscape, bro, of all. In my lawn is a bunch of creators that now have something to say. It's crazy to me. Trying to float your boat, all that stuff, bro. No. Brad Holmes needs to be held accountable, point blank. It says, Paradise says, what is the root of our injuries rate being so much higher than other teams? That's what matters. If healthy, we got the best roster in the league. That's also Brad Holmes' problem. I'm not a doctor. That's his problem. He need to get the strength and conditioning coach. He need to do all of that. Him and Dan need to do all of that. I don't know. We fired a guy a couple years ago named Harold. He was I think he was in Hard Knocks. We fired him after that. So maybe we need to fire somebody. Do something. Do something, right? I don't have the answer for you. I don't know. I'm not a doctor on YouTube. I have no idea. But do something about it. Do something about it. Other teams get hurt and they play through it. Their stars go down. They play through it. Brock Purdy was hurt. Mac Jones did his thing. They played through it. You have to have the personnel to play through it. We don't. We don't even have the personnel to get started. You know why? Let me stop, bro, because I don't want to start sweating. Marcus Davenport, bro. When you sign guys with hurt guys, bro, you try to replace hurt guys with hurt guys, that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Make sense of that, Paradise. And you know it's all love, bro. But you sign guys, you sign hurt guys to replace hurt guys. Insanity. That's the definition of insanity from Albert Einstein. Come on, bro. Let me see. No pass rush, and Lee McNeil is straight trash as well. No other teams have 3rd and 4th stringers. Hey, listen, Paradise. We done heard this before, bro. Wasn't we like this last year? Wasn't we like this last year? We was like this last year, wasn't we? We was like this. It's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Y'all being crazy. This is ridiculous, hyperbolic overreaction, 1 and 2. Hey, no, Artur, it's not overreaction. What's ridiculous? What's ridiculous? 2 all-pro safeties out. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Put it in the comment section. See, this is the dumb fan base stuff we have to deal with. This is the dumb fan base stuff we have to deal with. This is more, see, this is the idiotic stuff I'm talking about. And this is why, you know what, Lions fans? You deserve being miserable. You do. Why? Because your team had opportunities to do something, and they didn't. They didn't. So now, a year that our star pass rusher gets down, right? What about the year before that? What about trading for Donovan Peoples-Jones? You have to take every year as it comes. Y'all trying to build dynasties. Brad trying to build a dynasty, right? Artur, it's all love, bro, but this is dumb. This is dumb. An overreaction. It has been 5 years. What are you going to say next year when Jared Goff goes down? It's an overreaction not to have a backup quarterback? Come on, dog. And if your 2 all-pro safeties is your team, then you got bigger problems. Come on, man. What is we doing, bro? Because if we had a pass rush, it wouldn't really matter now, would it? But no. Come on, dog. I'm not doing this. Y'all can go watch somebody else, man. Detroit Lions lands missed opportunities. What about average speed, fixing our injury problem, stop getting injured players, nothing to it. Screw the defense. The offense was 20 unanswered points. We failed the team just as whole enough not to win. Well, you know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, shall we? All right, so yesterday we had there was something that I saw that I was discouraged. We actually made a video about this individual last week. I was truly discouraged by this site. And that is that I wish I could bring the footage in, but I can't because I don't have this clip. I would have had to record it and try to bring it in that way. But David Montgomery, Dan Campbell said something yesterday, and I was disheartened because Dan Campbell said the run game wasn't working. I'm like, were we watching the same game? Because there was a guy that was running, and this goes to Nate's comment from earlier. There was a guy that seemed to be getting positive yards. 5, 6, 7 first downs. He getting positive yards. As a matter of fact, he had more carries at one time than Jahmyr Gibbs did. I'm talking about David Montgomery. The run game isn't working. How about you got away from the run game that was, and you tried to force Jahmyr Gibbs to be the lead running back? And I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love him. He is shifty and speedy. We came up with the phrase Sonic and Knuckles last year, and it disappeared. Sonic is now a solo game. He back to Sonic 1 before Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Silver, all of them. It's just about Sonic. And I'm not trying to create any type of, narrative or anything. I'm saying it's obvious. It's Jahmyr's his strength is speed and shiftiness. He got some power too, but that's not his strength. For the past year, this season, David Montgomery, when it's working, we take him out. And I saw something yesterday that was, to me, very, very disheartening. I want y'all to take a look at it. I had to bring up my Comcast because I'm one of the rare Americans who still have cable. I have it for the sake of this YouTube channel. And I had to go back, find the footage because I record every Lions game, and actually take a screenshot or a picture with my camera phone so that I could get this frame. Look at this. This is David Montgomery's face after the touchdown. And if you watch the whole sequence, the entire sequence of what happened leading up to the camera changing to this, the entire sequence is disheartening. David Montgomery, let's go back. Let's go back to earlier this year. David has quietly, under the radar, has been asking for more use. It's almost a crime. It should be a crime, the way that we've used David Montgomery. And I would hate to say that Ben Johnson is the reason that was happening, that the use of David Montgomery. Maybe Dan Campbell doesn't know what to do with him. Maybe John Morton didn't know what to do with him. But you know what? He's in a contract for 2 more years. And unless we're going to trade him or cut him, we need to find somebody that knows how to use this man. That's it. Period. When David Montgomery said, hey, don't forget about me, that was telling you, I feel forgotten. I feel forgotten. Remember when he was with the Bears and he had no offensive line? Comes to Detroit, gives nothing but praise. He takes being injured personal, like he did something to his team. Love this man. Love him. They don't know what they had in Chicago. And it's funny that DeAndre Swift goes to Chicago and he never hurt now. That's funny to me. But anyway, so back to David Montgomery. He says, hey, don't forget about me. Hey, remember me? I'm part of this team too. Notice, you don't see the same. And again, I'm not trying to paint a narrative or create a narrative. I'm just speaking the facts. How many Sonic and Knuckles commercials do you see? How many commercials with David and Jameer do you see? It wasn't a ton last year, but it was at least one, maybe two. How many times do you see them together? You don't really. At least I don't. And I watch a lot of Detroit Lions stuff. I don't see what I saw last year. I'm not saying that there's something there between those guys. But what we saw last year, we don't see it this year. We don't, right? So after the touchdown was scored, and I wish I could bring this footage in, David Montgomery gets up, no celebration, which is rare. He runs off the field. He does not dap. He does not even acknowledge the rest of his teammates. He runs straight off the field. And this photo that you see right here, this photo that you see, you know where this was taken? On the bench. You know who was next to him? Not a soul. There was nobody on the left or right of David Montgomery. When you see that happen in any NFL game, that is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Even if it's not said to be a problem, it is a problem. From DK Metcalf to George Pickens to CeeDee Lamb to our favorite, A.J. Brown. If you see someone sitting by themselves on a bench, that is a problem. And this is the face of a man who is feeling underused and underappreciated and undervalued. I think he loves it in Detroit. I think he wants to be here. He said nothing but positive things about this city. But I also think he's frustrated. And I think he has every right to be. Because when it's working, we get away from it. I don't understand it. I don't. And so I was confused yesterday when Dan Campbell says the run game wasn't working. I'm saying, how, Dan? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Whenever Jahmyr Gibbs came out, he got stuffed. David Montgomery not only got positive yards, he took half the team with him. And we've seen this man. Give him a chance to run the football. I was trying to understand what was Ben Johnson doing last year. And I can't believe I'm about to do this, man, but I'm wondering if the method that Ben Johnson was using was working. And here's what I mean. Last year, it would be like series that would belong to one running back. It was literally Sonic and Knuckles. I don't know if you've ever played a Sonic and Knuckles game where Knuckles, it's some parts that Sonic cannot get past. He doesn't have the skill set to get past this. It is literally designed for Knuckles. Knuckles comes in, you play the stage with Knuckles. Knuckles can do it, right? He can break down the wall, do whatever. Last year when Ben Johnson, and it was kind of annoying because you're like, well, I would love to see these guys at the same time, or sometimes Ben Johnson would get away from the hot hand as well. So I'm not trying to like make sure or make it seem like he was just, he knew exactly what to do, but it seemed like he had a better concept of how to use these two guys. But I remember you would see Montgomery for a series. Then you would see Gibbs. He would be all Montgomery, all Gibbs, back and forth, back and forth. John Morton said we were going to use them both at the same time. I haven't seen anything special at all. It was so bad that when Monty came on the field, you knew it was a run. And yesterday, yesterday was a wildcat, direct snap to David Montgomery. He went straight in, followed his blocker, straight in, still had to take people with him, scored, got up, ran to the sideline, and then a few seconds later, this is the photo that you see. This is the photo that you see, man. And I'm like this. Maybe we let him go. Maybe we let him go. If we're not going to use him, maybe we let him go. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we hire an actual offensive coordinator who has the skill set to use him. You don't have to be Ben Johnson, but you got to do something with this man. You have to do something with him. So I don't know what the future holds for David Montgomery, but I miss Sonic and Knuckles, man. I really do. Now we're letting Blake Corum, Sonic and Knuckles got out. We got shown up by Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. And I don't even know if they got a nickname. And I'm not saying that they're scrubs or anything, but this running back duo has set records together. Remember when a couple years ago, I think it was last year, or they both had like over 1,000 yards? David Montgomery is well behind Jahmyr Gibbs because he's not on the field enough. So let me know your thoughts, man. What do you think about the David Montgomery situation? Why are we not using him? Is it the O-line? Is it the play calling? Is it both? Is it neither? What do you think? Why has he become the forgotten man in Detroit? All right, let me pop this out. All right, let me see. Josh, what up, Josh? Why don't they just go back to Gibbs? Okay, let me see. Monty getting frustrated. I seen the commercials, Gibbs and David Montgomery. He's played more QB than RB. I thought they were going to pound with Montgomery and hit the Rams with Gibbs. And yes, they did go away from it. Lions need to keep David Montgomery for long term, because what happened if Gibbs gets hurt, gets injured? Hey, that's a good point. Let me see. They also were down with little time left. No, Motor City Kev. No, if you're talking about Montgomery, no, sir. No, sir. We were running early on with Dave. Dan Campbell said the run game wasn't working, and that's not a true statement. It was working very well. We stopped running David Montgomery. Do you know yesterday? Check this out. David Montgomery has had one reception in every single game this season except yesterday. Like, what is going on? It's like Monty had that 150-yard game at Baltimore, and then they stopped using him. Chris, and look, I forgot to mention this during my segment, but I don't want to cause panic in the fan base. Not that I have that ability, but there is. I'm a huge data guy, right? I'm a huge pattern guy. And I think that there is something here. There's something to this. In no reason should David Montgomery be the garbage time running back. Did y'all peep that? What was it? The Washington game? He was the garbage time running back. He was the Craig Reynolds. He was the Jamar Jefferson. He was the garbage time running back. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. If you pull Goff, you pull Monty. If what they did was they pulled Goff, they pulled Gibbs, David Montgomery was out there quietly running and destroying folks. I don't know, y'all. I feel like that something needs to give. PC answer, I couldn't get Gibbs going. Monty is a dog, use him. Hey, Nate, you know what, man? I see that you see something. You know what I'm saying? That you peep it. Because something, the more you start talking about it, the more obvious it becomes. Maybe they are trying to push this whole Barry Sanders thing, because Jahmyr Gibbs, so wait a minute. Doesn't he still need, he still needs a touchdown, right? Or has he passed Barry already? I can't remember. Paradise says, Derek, all I'm saying is you should be harping on Holmes equally as hard as the injuries as you are with the lack of adding a DE. Oh, listen, I'm harping on Holmes for everything, bro. I'm harping him. Everything is his fault. Everything is his fault, bro. I don't know if I made that clear, but I'll make it clear now. Everything is Brad Holmes' fault. I am done. I'm tired. I'm not done with him, but I'm done with the glazing. I'm done with dealing with the glazing. It is Sheila, Rod, and then like Brad, right? Brad could literally fire Dan Campbell if Sheila let him. Like, that is his power. That's his authority. He could fire Dan Campbell if Sheila let him. So everything is, I'm blaming him for everything, period. You want to take the good, you're going to take the bad too. So I'm blaming him with everything. Everything, bro. That's where I'm at. Well, we pass a lot, and having three backs in formation costs wide receivers up front blockers. No outside runs at all. John Morton said, there's no way you can fail with this offense, and here we are. Secondary, moderate speed and undersized. Let me see. I don't even know what our tour is saying. Let me see. We don't. Edge, no speed. Okay, let me catch up. Melvin Cornelius, why didn't they run jumbo packages more? This team will look very different next year. Yes, Patty, yeah. Thank you, man. We saw that. That's facts. I just think our fan base expects more from the Super Bowl window. Look, let our tour be in his our feelings, bro. Like look, if you want to find and I'm sorry, bro, but I'm a little irritated today. I'm irritated with this because I'm 46 years old. 46 years old. 2 years ago, a man died. Died, bro. He died. Waiting on this team. He was in hospice and he passed away. And generation after generation after generation, people are dying. And what are you saying? Are all pro safeties. So what? So what? So what, bro? Get the team right, period. And every year is something that Lions fans want to find excuses for. You know what we heard? Oh, my God, bro. You know what 2023 was? We are in year 3 of a rebuild. That was what 2023 was. So let me get this straight. A team that was in year 3. So you know what y'all said when we were 17 points away? We were 30 minutes away from a Super Bowl. You know what you said? We were ahead of the curve. What are we talking about? We didn't take advantage of that. Before you need new tires and you need an oil change. We were ahead. We shouldn't even be here. But here we are. Oh, we'll get them next year. Right? Oh, then we got dynasty talk. We got people talking about the dynasty. What is we talking about, bro? And this is the thing that bothers me. The patience that we have is ridiculous. It's insane to me. What, who, why do you have? You and every other fan have the patience that you have. Why? What has this team done for you to give you patience? We got the highest price tickets in the NFL and ain't won nothing. Patience, right? Did the Ford show you patience when they raised their ticket prices? I don't think so. What is we talking about, bro? I can't deal with this. Y'all, I just don't understand this. What are we talking about? Injuries or not, I don't care. Get it done. Get it done. If you injured, fix the players. Go get the players that's not injured. Why would you go sign a dude who stays hurt? You go sign a dude, and then you know what you do? You re-sign him. It's ridiculous to me. The expectations of this team are through the roof, as they should be. Oh, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Last year's, we would have did something if we was not injured a whole bunch. And then y'all want to blame Jared Goff? Had an immaculate day yesterday, and y'all want to blame him, don't you? Everybody but Brad. It's because our 2 safeties was down. It's because we got so many injuries. What would you expect of a team that got all these injuries? This is ridiculous, bro. This is crazy to me. Josh said, I remember saying we were ahead of the curve, but for me, that was 3.5 years ago. Someone saying that last year was wild. No, not last year, bro. Not last year. 2023. And I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about 2023. We were ahead of the curve, right? So what? I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying, so what? Okay, you know, we 12-5 trade deadline. You know what we did at the trade deadline? You know what we did? Somebody tell me what we did. 2023 at the trade deadline. What did we do? What did we do? Oh, DJ Reed. Ooh, wee. Carlton Davis looking real good now, didn't we? Donovan Peoples-Jones. Dern says we missed our window because of the greed from GM and our head coach, a yes man to the GM. Ooh, I gave you the Shaq face, bro. Let's get into it. Yo, we got a spicy. It's the spicy. That's not, I can do that, right? Like Mario, it's me, Mario. I can do that, right? So we got a spicy take, bro. We got a spicy take, and I mentioned this before, and I want to get y'all feedback on this because we got a spicy. I think this offseason gonna be spicy. I think it's gonna be explosive. We already gonna see a lot of changes with the Lions personnel, right? Craig Reynolds no longer on the team. Levi gone. Josh gone, most likely. So we gonna see some turnover. All right. The good old days of rebuilding and bonding and all that stuff. I mean, who knows? David Montgomery. I don't know. I mean, I want him on the team, but the Lions, they really don't use him like they want him on the team, so I don't know. But I mentioned this before. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are like brothers, man. You ever seen that? You've seen the movie Predator with Dylan. And they do the bro. It's a meme to this day. Muscles, biceps. That's what they are. Bro. That's what they are. It might be time for a little ruckus. It might be time for a little pushback from Dan Campbell. It might be, bro. Because they all happy. They're brothers and they're singing and they're making draft picks. They're doing all that stuff, sharing the same brain. Yeah, me and Dan, we agree on everything. Maybe it's time for a little rebellion. Maybe it's time for a little Dan Campbell rebellion. Say, Brad, because I'm going to tell you what I saw last night. I saw last night that Dan Campbell in front of the media taking all the darts. He taking all the arrows. He answering questions. He, for the first time in a long time, he said, I don't know. I don't know. He even said in a press conference, you would have to ask Brad about that. Well, Dan, we would like to do that, brother. We would like to, but he on the sideline laughing. He is nowhere to be found during the trade deadline. He is ghost. So why don't you tuck those away and you save them for the offseason? But maybe it's time for a little pushback from our head coach. Because Dan Campbell, Dern said, we missed our window because of greed from our general manager and our head coach being a yes man to that GM. Would you call Dan Campbell a yes man? I don't know if I would call him a yes man, but I would say that it might need to be a little ruckus, a little ruffling of the feathers. It might be a little disagreement. You know, every now and then, me and my wife have a disagreement, right? For the most part, we get along. But every now and then, it's a little bit of, and we pout. And then we go and we make up, right? Every now and then you got to have it. You can't just be all the time. All the time. I don't even know if that's good for the relationship. Because see, when you start pushing back, that's when the real knowledge is found. When there's a little bit of bumps in the road, right? So now we got 5 years, and this is like an understated, undervalued thing I think that the fan base is missing. We are in year 5 of this regime. Year 5. We are 3 games away from a potential playoff elimination before going into year 6. Year 6, ladies and gentlemen. Year 6. If your kid was in elementary school, he or she is now in high school. Right? If they were in the 5th grade, they're now in the 9th or 10th. That's how long it's been. Half a decade hit a lot harder than 6 years, don't it? Let Matthew Stafford win another one. Let the Bears eliminate the Lions or make the playoffs, period, like I brought out last night on Lions Syndicate. The Bears are about to join 12% of the teams to start 0-2 and make the playoffs. They are a colossal failure away from doing that. The Houston Texans, 0-3, will become the 7th team in NFL history to do it, while your Detroit Lions at one point in the season were 1-1, they were 4-1, and since that point, they have gone 4-5 over the last 9 games, 6-7, because that's what they're doing. It's like win 1, lose 1, 6-7. See, I might be old, but I got it. I got it right. And now, the record that they're going to have the privilege and the honor of getting is becoming the first team in NFL history to win 16 straight games after losing, spanning from 2022 to 2025. And the sad part is we can raise the record if we somehow lose to the Minnesota Vikings for the 2nd time and somehow beat the Bears. But we got to beat the Steelers first. But is it time for just a wee bit of pushback from, and maybe you, listen, you have to evolve and adapt, right? In every facet of life. What works now may not work in the future. Let me just say this. As a person who does YouTube, you have to evolve. The algorithm, YouTube is changing all the time. Shorts, Remember stories? Remember we used to have stories? You probably don't, do you? Because they're gone now. Stories were these little 15-second clips that you could click on the person's icon. It'll be a red circle around it. And you could hit the button and it would be like Instagram Reels. It would be like that. They took them away because nobody were using them. You had to get to 10,000 subscribers to use that. I just got to 10,000, had it, they took it away. As a creator, I have to evolve. If I don't, I'll get left behind. Same thing with the NFL team. This team has to evolve, and maybe they need to evolve. Maybe Dan Campbell needs to say, look, man, it's been cool for these 5 years, but something ain't working, brother. So I don't know if he's going to say brother, but he probably would because it's like, brother, but something ain't working. Let's sit down. Let's chop it up. Let me see what you're talking about. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Let's work it out. And we might not agree, and that's okay, because we both want the team to get better and win a Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, Dern got a point. I don't know if he a yes man, but it might be some time for some pushback. And I don't know any healthy relationship that don't have a little bit of a shakiness. Sometimes you got to rock the boat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Rock the boat, see what comes out. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Dan Campbell's a yes man? I think a little friction. Friction is how you make fire. I'm just saying. That would be awesome. We'd be undefeated. I'll make Terrion and the Meek backups, bring in some dogs. Barnes ain't a starter. Campbell took Anzalone's spot and allow Anzalone to drop in coverage, which is a terrible idea. Our linebacker are easily top 3 core in the league. Is it though? Is it though? Is it? Oh, Artur, what? What is happening, bro? You said our D-line has been top 10. In what? I've been hoping for the Lions to have a Houston Texans-like defense for 15 years. Steve, you going to keep hoping. Brad ain't going to do that. Hey, what's up, Tail? What's going on, man? Coach definitely not a yes man. You can say we were, you can say we were so and so top spot, but it doesn't matter if it isn't sustained. Like what? Aren't we working some safety positions out? I'm sure we are, because if you're just now joining us, Amik Robertson has a hand injury. I don't know if it'll keep him out. I did find this out last night. Had one of the homies text me. It was like Amik hurt his hand. I guess he saw him at the after party or something with the with something on his hand. But Dan Campbell, has this press conference been set up yet? Do y'all see it set up? Hey, Camille. So, you know what? I've been hearing that question a lot. And I get it. I've heard a couple creators say that they don't want the Lions to make the playoffs, and I admire that. I do, because that's almost like how we were back in the day. Because I don't know how y'all feel, but what up, Raw? I don't know how you guys feel, but does this feel a little bit like SOL? Like, I'm not saying it is SOL, but does it bring you back to SOL? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to sit down and think of it. And I was like, this is the worst that this fan base has felt under this regime. It really is. Like, we came from the man, Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn. And Bob Quinn had his faults, but he did help kind of build the foundation of the O-line. He took Frank Ragnow, and I know it was not a hugely popular move with Lions fans, right? But he took a center with the first round pick, and that dude wound up being a stud. But it feels okay, let me put it like this. Maybe not SOL, but since I've been in Lion Syndicate making videos on this channel, you have not been able to talk about Brad Holmes. You have not been able to talk about anything that is pessimistic about the team. Even if you have not been able to be critical of the team. The better we got, the less you were able to criticize the team, even with valid points, right? So some of us, even when we were second in sacks, were saying, hey, it doesn't matter. We need an actual defensive end, opposite Aiden. Some of us were saying when we drafted Ennis Rakestraw and had a crash out on a live stream draft watch party that it was a mistake, right? Some of us actually had a fit when we traded up for Broderick Martin. Some of us had a fit when we signed Marcus Davenport, who has done and will do nothing with the Detroit Lions. I had people in the comment section yesterday saying, I didn't even know he was on the field. Your starting defensive end. I didn't even know he was on the field. And it feels like for the first time under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, that it is okay to be critical. I've seen it. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it. I've been dragged on Twitter. I've been dragged on YouTube, and I now see it. If I made a rant video, people couldn't watch it. But rants were my breaking into the business. But now you couldn't watch it. Like, this guy's crazy. I have people in the comment section of my videos right now to be like, Derek, when I first started watching you, I thought you was a hater. I thought you were pessimistic. I thought. And now I was wrong, right? My bad. And I'm just like, yeah, because the numbers tell you that this team did not get significantly better. I knew that we were in trouble when we re-signed Marcus Davenport. I knew we were in trouble, bro. When Brad Holmes, if you look at our free agency, it was extremely lackluster. Remember how we start free agency? We sit there and this guy's being signed, that guy's being signed, bada boom, it's just ping-ponging around. And we hear, I think it was a few days before free agency started, because you can sign your own guys. We re-signed Marcus Davenport. I was like, oh, Lord, this is going to be bad. And then we get to the draft and we take Tyleek Williams. And when we signed Marcus, I was like, yo, he's our starting edge rusher. And I just like you knew it was going to be bad. And then you signed DJ Reed. You let Carlton Davis walk. Carlton Davis have a little something snazzy to say about your regime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, y'all. I feel like it might get a little spicy. It might get a little spicy these last 2 years. And it might not be from Sheila, but it might be from the fan base. It might get spicy, man. Because remember, I used to call Brad Holmes cheap. Well, he's not cheap. That's for sure. He paid out $1 billion to 9 people. So he's not cheap, but he's selective and he will pay his own guys. But if you're not one of his guys, he might trade for you, but he'll throw you away after that. You traded for Carlton Davis. You traded for him. And you decided that you wanted to save some money, so you went with DJ Reed. And DJ Reed, yikes, man. What I was seeing, yes, I thought that he had on, I was like, he got on the wrong cleats, right? He not wearing is it ice on the field? I was saying it's got to be water or something on the field. Is it? How was he just, every time you looked, he was on the ground. Like, what has happened? Did he trip? Is the turf monster real? What happened? Right? So I think that these last 2 years are going to be much more spicy than the first 5, because the NFL stands for not for long, man. I'm not saying that these guys are going to get fired. So I'm saying, because I think that the worst case scenario is they don't get renewed. if it were up to me right now, there's not a renewal for Brad Holmes. I'm not extending him right now. I'm not. Because when you think about, and I think, and we'll wrap up the show after this. And I said this before, that I think this was when Brad Holmes became a villain. You know what? Brad Holmes had on a hoodie, positional value villain. You know what? I think he was telling us who he really is. Brad Holmes is the villain of this Detroit Lions team. In The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent says you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think Brad was a hero. He was. When he came in, took this team, took 5 draft picks, turned them to Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ife Melifonwu. Well, that was the bonus draft pick. Derek Barnes. He flipped that first year. He was a hero. Year 2, Aiden Hutchinson falls right into our lap. It would be an idiot not to take him. He wasn't an idiot. He took him, right? Traded up for Jamison Williams, a move 0 people saw coming. And Jamison is thriving in Detroit. I necessarily wasn't in love with it because of an edge rusher, but, I'm still waiting. Then we get to the year of 2023, and I think this is when Brad Holmes became a villain. It lines up perfectly, right? Right? The story I'm about to paint kind of lines up. 2023, you have the last of the Matthew Stafford trade. The very last. You got 1 first-round pick left. Rams suck the year before. They get the 6th pick. So you have the 6th pick. You also have your pick, which is mid-round. You decide to trade back and take a running back. Now, you know what the funny part is? I don't remember anybody dogging the Atlanta Falcons for taking Bijan Robinson, right? Nobody was really talking about that. Saquon Barkley went 2nd overall. Trade up, we take Jahmyr Gibbs. That is the moment Brad Holmes, the villain, was born. Yo, man, this be fire, bro. Because this is a, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That's the moment that Brad Holmes, the villain, was created. That's the moment that we, in my opinion, lost him. That's when he became too arrogant for his own good. Then it just built upon that, right? Jack Campbell, you take him. You have Brian Branch sitting there to the 2nd round. You can't believe it. You snag him. You get Sam Laporta. 4 stud pieces, 4 home runs, and 4 consecutive home runs. And then what did you do after that? Those 2 rounds is when Brad the villain was born. And I think that's when it started going downhill. That's when it started going downhill. After that, you take Broderick Martin. So you start feeling yourself and you trade away picks to get a guy that no one ever heard of. You burn picks to get a guy that no one ever heard of to draft in the top 100, and he never did anything for your team. The last count, Broderick Martin had played 58 snaps in 2 seasons as a 96 overall pick. He was selected in the third round, the same round as Iffy, the same round as Kirby, the same round as Isaac Tesla, and you played 58 snaps. And then what happened after that? What happened after the 2nd round of the 2023 NFL draft? Everything from that point has been lackluster. Everything. Nothing that he's done has equaled, to me, any of the first 2.5 years in the draft. Not Terrion, not Ennis, disaster. Not Tyleek, not Tate. He hasn't, and that to me, when the villain was born. Because then you take positional value. What do you do after that? What do you do after that? Then you get the free agency. Because if you look at it, that's when the snarkiness really started. It really started, bro. Right at the trade deadline of 2023 is when it started. Because I got a philosophy, right? And I'm just throwing stuff out here, just kind of conspiracy theory stuff right now. Brad doesn't make a move. He signs. Who did we sign? Who do we like? What did we do in 2023? Like, who did we bring on this team? We did a video about that, about the free agent signings that we made. Maybe Brad thought he had a chance at somebody at the trade deadline. Maybe he did. Maybe he thought Daniil. Because remember, going into 2023 is when Daniil Hunter signed that 1 year, like that 1 year extension with the Minnesota Vikings, right? If I remember correctly, that's when he signed that deal. So maybe he thought he could land Daniil. He thought he could land somebody at the trade deadline. I remember him being extremely disappointed. He got up there and was like, yeah, we traded a 6th-round pick to the Cleveland Browns for Donovan Peoples-Jones. I remember people asking him questions he didn't want to answer. He didn't want to answer. I think we got something happening. But maybe he thought he was going to get his hands on somebody else during the trade deadline. And it didn't work. And then in 2024, Marcus Davenport. So I think that is when the villain was born. Brad Holmes, the positional value villain, was born. And that's when, so now he has to have his redemption arc, in my opinion. He needs to redeem himself. When you sit down on your hands and you make minute moves, you don't move the needle at free agency, you don't move the needle in the draft, you refuse to, you keep signing dudes off practice squads and 6th and 7th round pick to be starters, then you have a problem. Or injury prone players. I think he might also got a little tight with that money as well. With you traded, because think about this, you traded for Carlton Davis. Then he played well. He wanted some money. You didn't want to give it to him. So you get a downgrade. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing something out there. Let me know your thoughts, man. Do you think Brad Holmes is a true villain? Do you think he can redeem himself? I'm telling you, man, the next 2 years is going to be something. It's going to be something for sure. Something, either the fan base, the regime, or the ownership, something is going to, we either need to win or something is like, it's going to change. Something is happening. Something is cooking down the pipeline for sure. Okay, let me see. Brad Holmes became Starscream. Nero Ram says, to be honest, I don't think Daniel wanted to come here. Hey, no, it don't really matter though, bro. It don't really matter. He had did he have a no trade clause? I don't think he did. Nope, he didn't, because he asked Minnesota not to trade him. Broderick is out of the league. Wait, Jay, wait a minute. Is he? Is Broderick Martin out of the league? I thought he was with the Steelers. Hey, but listen, I am going to, when the offseason come, okay, I'm going to start opening the phone lines if I can finally fix this system and get my phone system working. We are going to take calls, and we might take a call every 15 minutes, right? So I'm trying to bring y'all real, authentic content. And this is one of my dreams, man, to do this stuff. So, because I see some people in the comment section, and it's got me wanting, like, Steve. Steve is, I don't know. I think Steve is like, yo, I've kind of had enough. Not that he don't stop watching the team, but Steve was like pro, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and Steve was at it, just like me and Artur are at it right now, right? But I see y'all coming around like, yo, maybe we was believing the hype. Maybe it's okay to question this team. I mean, whenever you are charging me like the highest price tickets, I can question you, bro. Like, why didn't the Lions go up on ticket prices? Why do you think that? Because they probably saw we're not making the playoffs. like 2 good years and you got the highest. Like, it's almost like somebody was sitting there waiting on this to happen. Anyway, Derek, I've said it before. If we miss the playoffs this year and next year, I would fire Brad. But you know what, man? I don't think Brad is going to get fired because he's only got 2 years left. And I think that you're probably, you know what I'm saying, like, not going to do that. But I could see, I've said this before, I could see him not being renewed. I could see Dan Campbell sticking around and him being gone. Anyway, I got to go, y'all. Look, we'll be on tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Monday Night Football, Pistons play today. The Boston Celtics, hopefully they can get their revenge from last time. Yeah. So we got 2. I hate when they play at the same time as football, man. I hate it. So anyway, we'll be on tomorrow. Hopefully we're talking about a Pistons win. And hopefully Cade can get 20 points, bro. But I will see y'all tomorrow, man. I'm going to leave y'all with this picture because I think it says, a picture says 1,000 words. And I think y'all need to, I think this means something, y'all. I really do.
And I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on the feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah.